Hello and welcome back to Smashing Secrets Feng Shui. This is episode 44 and I'm Robert.
What? You're Robert?
Yes, who are you?
I'm your mum.
You're not my mother.
I am. I'm Mama Joe. I'm Joe
I,
Fooey.
I feel like the wires might have got mixed up here. I'm covering for Chloe.
No. No more of that rubbish. We definitely do not want any more Leslie stuff, Robert stuff. And in fact, if you're going to talk about Robert, I'm going to get him confused with Robin. And I think you need to introduce Robin.
Yeah, right, fine. I'll drop the bit. Yes, I have a dog now called Robin.
A little puppy.
He is so cute. Oh my god. You guys, he's so sweet. Guys and women, everyone in between. Oh my god, he's like 4 months old. He's a papillon. He is so cute. He's a really nice temperament dog. He's not very well trained, so we've been very busy this week doing all the lovely things that you can imagine.
But he gets on well with Theo, which is extraordinary.
Yeah. Oh my god. And saying that, I've actually got an existing Instagram for Theo, but now it's actually a joint account for Theo and Robin. So if you want to see them playing, which is really, really fun, you can look them up. It's one word, it's Robin, then an X, and then Theo. So ROBINXTHEO. And I can't lie, it's really cute because Robin's actually smaller than Theo, but they're such a duo. Yeah, it's amazing. They're so cute. Yeah.
So I have furry grandchildren.
Yeah.
Oh, grand pets rather.
Yeah,
So
grand pets. God, that sounds really old.
I feel old sometimes.
Well, I think the best of us do.
So my beautiful darling, how are you today?
Yeah, I'm good. It's very sunny here in London, and I
Yeah.
made a really nice dish today with prawns and cucumber and noodles. Sounds weird, but it was really good.
Nice.
Mum's like frowning, like, ooh.
No, I thought it sounded lovely.
It was quite
So,
good, yeah. Very fresh.
did you put a sauce on it? It seems like it might be nice with a little peanut sauce or a.
Yeah, there was a sauce. It was like coriander, mint, tahini, lime, and olive oil all blended up.
Oh,
Yeah,
yum.
it kind of tasted like a bit cheesy, but I think that's just because tahini's like sesame seeds, right? Mum's really not enjoying it. Do you not like tahini?
I do. It's got its place.
Do?
It's got its place in the
I
world.
do. Well, yeah, not in your kitchen.
I have no tahini in my kitchen, but
That is surprising because you've got every other product ever invented by man from
I've still
day
got
one.
I've still got some soursop in the fridge. That's like a year old.
Oh god!
I don't like throwing things away. I know it's bad. I know when we get to space clearing, I'm going to be very embarrassed. Space clearing is not the same as feng shui, but it does work closely with feng shui.
Yeah, very closely, huh?
And it's a lesson I'm still learning.
Yeah, mum's so good to the environment to the point where she doesn't throw anything away, so it can't go into the ocean.
I'm resourceful.
Mum's saving
darling.
the ocean.
Well, I'm just resourceful.
Yeah, how resourceful when things go off.
I just think don't waste things. Don't be a throwaway sort of culture. Don't chuck something away just because it's old.
Just become a hoarder. That's the ticket, ladies and gents.
It's just a balance between clutter and
more clutter.
What can I can use this later for something.
That's the.
I think it's because I'm a bit like G-Dad. I've got an inventive mind.
Okay.
Yeah, G-Dad was very good at thinking up things, and I think I look at something and I think, yeah, I can do something with that later.
I mean, I'm not going to lie. You are true. You are a very good cook. You do pull all sorts of ingredients out of all sorts of areas of the kitchen, and you make a lovely meal. So fair
Thank
dues.
you, Chloe. Tick.
Yeah. Have some money now, Joe. I'm watching a program where there's like a really spoiled like girl, and she just got cut off, and I was like, oh, that must have hurt.
What, financially?
Yeah.
Oh, ouch.
Oh, ouch. Yeah, big
Mind you, it
ouch.
might be good for her to become a
That's why
little
they've
bit.
done it. Yeah.
Oh, is she learning?
No,
Is she?
she's just crying at the point. Yeah, not happy. Anyway, how are you?
I'm very well. I'm very, very well. I am actually very excited.
Oh yeah. Why is that
Well, because we've been
then?
working very hard on a joint
Oh,
project, haven't we,
yeah,
Chloe, Marie,
yeah.
Lansdowne, Russell?
Robert.
So, so do you want to explain to everyone why it's exciting? What you have a
Yeah,
big major announcement?
we've got a very big major announcement. So,
It's called Progress.
yes, yes, it is. So, this episode is coming out to you on Friday the 5th, which is
Mm-hmm.
a solar eclipse in Scorpio, for anyone that's not
Lunar,
aware.
lunar. You keep saying solar.
Lunar.
It's lunar because
Thank
you're a bit
you.
loony.
Great. That's
Mm.
perfect. Thank you.
In fact, it's quite strong energy. So,
You're interrupting me.
sorry, baby. Carry on.
Anyway, sorry, that was funny. We don't speak like this in real life, by the way. Which might be sad to hear. Oh, sorry, Mum does. Sorry, I don't talk like this. I talk like this in real life. Anyway, I've lost my train of thought. So this is coming out on Friday. Happy Friday, everyone! I hope you're excited for the weekend. We're in May now. Very springy here in the UK. And
Oh, it's lovely.
our thing, our announcement is that tomorrow, Saturday the 6th of May, our first ever newsletter is coming out. We've got quite a lot of people that have already subscribed to it, which is amazing. Can't wait to share this with you.
Thank
But
you.
we didn't want to release the newsletter today on the Friday, even though the energy is actually changing from what was it in April?
So we had a fire dragon, which will,
That was April.
yeah, till the 5th of May,
Yep, and then we're
uh,
moving into
to the fire snake month.
perfect.
Mm.
So it does change today. So you might feel a bit of a transitional energy around you, which is very fun. And we are going to be releasing our monthly newsletter on the day that it changes energy. But as it's a solar eclipse,
Lunar.
lunar eclipse, the energy is a little bit unstable. So we decided to actually release the newsletter tomorrow. But we thought that that was actually a great opportunity for everyone that's listening today. You can subscribe to the first ever newsletter now, and you shouldn't miss it. And in order to subscribe to our newsletter, which has got some very interesting things on it, might I add, you can go onto our website and you can subscribe there. You go onto smashingsecrets.com and you'll find it on the About page, which I think is as soon as you enter the website, scroll down, put your email in, and you'll receive the first newsletter. And within the newsletter, we've got some goodies. We've got a roundup of every 2 monthly episodes. And we are also launching our Patreon page, which is going to have loads more exclusive content for everyone that's willing to pay.
Much more detail, I should say, not detail, detail. So
You
it's
kind of get like a cap in the newsletter, and then you can find out a
yeah,
lot more. You can continue reading through the Patreon.
yeah. So there's loads more information. In fact, we'll be adding stuff all the time. So we'll have the all the things that you need to understand the language of feng shui. So they'll have the sort of explanation of the different types of luck that everybody has available at any time. So you'll never ever ever be in bad luck again. You can always look at the different lucks that or energies to do with good fortune, which ones are stronger for you at any given time. So there'll be an explanation about that. That we're going to go, or we'll have the sort of cheat sheets, so you can quickly look up which Bardsi energy combines with yours. What does it mean? Which energies clash with yours? So, say for example, I mean, the reason we're avoiding launching on a lunar eclipse is because when there is an eclipse, it not only does it initiate huge change, and it's a lot of energy sort of coming up in a way that can be quite difficult to manage. In Chinese metaphysics, when the light goes away, so whether it's the solar eclipse where the energy of the sun disappears just for a few seconds. In the past, the ancient people would believe that the sky dragon had bitten and eaten the energy of the sun. So it's quite powerful for bad luck, actually. So even 1 minute exposure, 1 second, tell a lie, 1 second exposure of a solar eclipse equates to 1 year bad luck. So we don't want anybody to put themselves in a situation where they're open to receiving bad luck. We want everybody to feel joyous and to feel happy and to be able to tap into the good energies that are available. So not only do we have really good energy for new beginnings on the 6th of May for us, so will anybody else that does a launch on the 6th of May, not so on the 5th. So that's why we can do the podcast, because that's not a new beginning, but anything new, like the new newsletter and the new Patreon page with all the different information that we've got, we wanted to do it on a day where everybody benefits. So there you
Yeah.
go.
So say more things about the Patreon. I'm so excited.
Well, okay, so what have we got? So we're going to, like I say, we're going to have some cheat sheets. So we'll have so if you have your Bardsey, which is your astrology, you can have Bardsey for houses as well. So when you move into a house or when the house was built, so you can look at that kind of pattern of energy. But everyone's going to have a year, a month, a day, and even an hour. So not everybody knows their hour, but that you can still look up 3/4 of that energy pattern. So we'll have the breakdown of the signs. So if you look up on a Bardsey calendar, and I think Chloe, you'll be able to put a link up to a Bardsey calendar, won't you?
I should do.
Yeah. So, I mean, you can, I mean, there's lots of free ones. So all you need is little Chloe's having a little sneeze on
I was
mute.
coughing and I was muting so that we didn't interrupt you, but carry on. Can I
So
talk now? I'm talk
go
more.
on.
I want to hear more ideas. So in the newsletter, there's going to be a May forecast. It's going to be short and sweet. It's going to have tips and tricks in it, including what
Yeah.
colors you can wear to really like use the energy around you, to like to propel yourself, which is like
Yeah.
very cool.
Yeah.
Going to be
Yeah.
looking at my wardrobe and being like, ooh, she's saucy. And then you can read, so you can read the May forecast in the newsletter. You can read the May forecast on the Patreon, but then you
Yeah.
can continue reading to find out your more personalized
Yeah.
forecast
Yeah.
using your Bazi. So it is like Chinese astrology.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
But
you can look at all the things.
but when you do the Barsi calculator, it doesn't give you an explanation. So that's what I want to deliver is an explanation. So the Barsi calculator will give you the calligraphy. So it'll give you the heavenly stems and the earthly branches. So
But who
the
can read
animals.
that?
Me,
There
you
you
got
go.
me. You got
Mum's the
me.
toolkit here.
So I'm just going to be giving you stuff that you can use yourself, so you don't necessarily have to book a consultation. You can just sort of think, oh, okay, I've got a really important week coming up. What's the energy like? Oh, I know, I'll have a look at Chloe and Joe's
Well, that's the thing.
Patreon
You
page.
you can go back to it throughout the month, so
Yeah,
it's always going to be available if you ever
it's going
need
to
to,
be
like a
your
check-in.
it's going to be your little pocket oracle.
And on top of that, if you have any questions about anything that's on there, you can comment and we can get straight back to you.
Yeah,
And we're
you're setting
also,
up a community.
yes, we're in the middle of setting up a Discord community. So for everyone that's got the Patreon, they can have exclusive content. They can have exclusive access to the Discord, and there's about 10 tabs, all different names, all different topics. It can be from the 5 elements to the Bagua. It's a place for all of you to meet, to connect, to confab about what's going on with your lives in terms of feng shui, and Mum can come in and answer any questions that you have. So we
Yeah.
really want to create a massive, beautiful community full of all of you, because
Good
you're
luck. We
you're all
want you,
amazing. Come
and
on,
we want
like
you
I
all to
love these
have
people's questions so much.
and it's also a way to boost your your luck, whether it's and hopefully we can, as we continue, we'll be able to share more like the monthly flying stars. So if you have a water feature, or if you want to use the fire method, or I'll share other methods. So
Mm.
so the thing, I mean, it's called Tong Shu, but I will go into that in more detail. So, how to activate an area in your home to bring you through more opportunities, or to expand opportunities, to make the good luck much stronger, have a greater flow of energy. If we know that something's coming up that could be a little bit troubling, pre-warned is pre-armed. So we look at ways to minimize the more tricky situations. So I'm going to go much deeper. So for people that have written to us to ask about activating their own personal monthly stars for prosperity, or for health, or for relationships, then there should be the tools there for you to do that yourself. So
Mm.
so that's can I shout out somebody's name?
What? I was
When
That's so weird. Just
was you
because,
going to say
like,
Wendy?
no, no,
Hi, Wendy.
no, no. Well, yeah. Well, that's so weird. Like, that's so weird because okay, so part of the that was like really lined up really well. I'm sorry, this wasn't scripted, but like, I
Never
was,
is.
I was gonna say that a part of the being on the Patreon is that you have there's polls on there, so you can help us decide the direction of what episodes that you want to hear more of. But there's also a chance for you to have a shout out on the podcast, like your name, which Mom just did randomly. Which I don't know why you've done that. Why have you done
Well,
that?
because we've got a lovely one of my favourites, actually. One of
Wendy
I've got.
Pugh.
I wasn't going to say the full name, but we haven't heard from Wendy for a while, because I think she was because well, I don't know why, but Wendy had lots of questions. So Wendy, we're going to open the door wide open, so don't hold back.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And we're actually working. There's another secret thing that's been going on. We're working on a specific type of book, and I won't release all the details on that yet. But when it does come out, members of the Patreon community will get an exclusive content, exclusive discount. They'll also get an early bird of when it's coming out, so that's pretty fun and exciting. And the last but not least thing is, apart from all the full archive of resources, you will also have a live Q&A session with Mum every now and then. We're trying to figure out when. Maybe it's monthly. I don't know. I'll see how much I can. I
See,
can.
yeah, see how many people want to do it.
Yeah, but I'm very excited about that because if you have got any burning questions, then that's a great time to ask them. So I think it could be good monthly, but we'll see what the people want. We can do a poll, right?
You love a poll.
I actually love a poll. Polls are great. So yeah, that was our huge announcement that went on for much longer than I anticipated. So I hope you've enjoyed. And last but not least, the burning question that's in all of your brains. Mum, how much does it cost to be a Patreon member?
1111.
That's right, $11. So for all our American listeners, you know what that means. For all our English listeners, it's a little bit less than that. I think it's £9.50. I don't know. Don't hold me accountant to
It
that.
depends on the exchange rate. So
That's true.
yeah, so
Yeah.
we wanted to keep it simples, but at the same time, we know that in period 9, the number 1 is going to be is auspicious, and 1 is to do with knowledge and wisdom. It's to do with flow. It's the water element. So I
It's an
think
angel number as well, right?
yeah,
Seeing a sequence of numbers.
yeah,
I think that means new
absolutely.
beginnings.
Does it?
I think so.
Well, for one, I'm got strong water, so it resonates with me. But also, when you add in period 9, fire and water becomes very dynamic. So I want it to be, because we're starting from new. One, water is to do with life and knowledge. It also reacts to the fire, so you get this very sort of powerful steam-like energy, which can move. Well, just imagine the locomotions, the old steam trains from the past. And do you remember that steam train went on at Christmas? I
Mm-hmm.
mean, fire and water. I mean, you think. Well, I mean, it did a massive circuit around London and Surrey,
Yeah.
and that was all just fire and water just combined together in a powerful way. So that's what I'm
Mhm.
hoping that we can do is power
Build a
off.
train.
No.
No,
build something successful that has
that's what I meant.
the power to go on and on and on and on and on.
Yeah, like a train. Nothing goes past me. So fun.
Oh, well, shall,
So yeah,
should we crack on?
yeah. So just to recap on that, it's the newsletter is going out tomorrow. If you would like to sign up, go to our website and I'll add you to the list. It will be going out. Yep, tomorrow. I'm very excited about it. It looks great.
Chloe's been working really hard, so thank
It
you,
look
Chloe.
Thank you. It looks snazzy. And if you wanna, if you're not bothered about the newsletter, but you are interested in the Patreon, you can also find that on our website, which is smashingsecrets.com. And now that we've reached 20 minutes and we've done our special announcements, should we talk about the rest of the episode?
Yes, I believe so. So,
Righty-ho.
this is also relative to what's going on. The energy of May, so that's the 5th of May to the 5th of June, has a hexagram. Do you know what a hexagram is? Have you heard of the I
Uh,
Ching?
well, from you, yeah. But I don't know what
So,
it means.
well, the I Ching is the oldest book in existence.
Crikey.
And it's also known, or a translation of the I Ching, is the Book of Changes. So the only
Ooh.
thing we know of that, the only thing in the world, the only thing in the universe, the only thing ever that we can guarantee is change. So we know that change will always occur. Energy cannot be destroyed; it can only be transformed into something else.
Mm.
And the energy of change is very powerful, and particularly so in May. In fact, this is a an amazing year because we've got lots and lots of pure energy. If you look at the I mean, I don't want to get too technical, but if you look at the combinations of heavenly stems and earthly branches, there's lots of different variations because you've got 10 heavenly stems and you've got 12 earthly branches. And it takes 60, there's 60 different options for you to come back to the same combination. So
Okay.
this year we've had lots of pure energy. So, for example, we had in February we had the heavenly stem of Yang Wood with the earthly branch of the tiger, which is Yang Wood. So you had very powerful energy in February. You had the same in March. You had Yin Wood as the heavenly stem with the earthly branch of the rabbit, which is Yin Wood. So again, very pure energy. May is another one. So we're having and it's in the season. So wood is the season of spring. So to have those heavenly stems lined up with the earthly branches. So it's very much about alignment. Sometimes we'll hear about the power of alignment or the power of flow or power of manifestation. These are all sort of key words that talk about that purity of energy when it all comes together. So that's what we've got for that whole of 2023, just as we're entering this new season, if you like, this new 20-year period. But May is going to be significant because it's the first time we enter the fire season. So the season
Oh.
of summer is fire. Period 9 is all about fire. So we're going to have a little taste. So
Mm.
that's why I'm so stoked that we're doing the Patreon at this point in time. So it's so good for new beginnings.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. So the
Oh.
heavenly stem for May is yin fire over the energy of the snake. So on the exterior of the snake, it's yin fire. Inside, we've got some hidden elements. We'll talk about that maybe on the Patreon page.
Oh, I want to
Um,
know.
you've got earth and metal, but for this level, we just want to focus on the snake. So
Okay.
it's a strong snake energy. The heavenly stem and the earthly branch are in alignment with one another. So it's great for
Mm.
new beginnings. Snakes are super good for endings and beginnings. So ending of one cycle and the beginning of another. And I'll talk about that in a little bit more detail.
Mm.
Just want to run through the other pure energies. That wasn't my phone. I think that was yours.
That was my email. How rude. I don't
So
want my
when we get
email.
to the horse, we have yang earth over the horse. Then we've got another pure one, we've got the yin earth over, so yang earth over the horse, beg your pardon, yin earth with the goat, again pure. Then we go into August, where we've got yang metal over the monkey, pure, rooster and yin metal, pure. So
Wow.
really unusual. And then we go into October. We have a water dog. That's not a pure one, but the November is very pure. And yeah, and I think that's the last one actually.
Is
It's
this like when
just
you say pure? Is this
where the hip.
like
So with
is that like the
alignment.
highest
Yeah, the
purity?
purest. It's
Oh,
very pure.
really?
Yeah, because you've they're in alignment. So one of the sayings my teacher used to say was when this combination, and it's unusual to have so many. So
Mm.
my teacher used to say it's the energy of Earth is reaching up and knocking on the roof of heaven. So
Mm.
for somebody like myself, a water person, I really respond well to the wood energy and the fire energy and the earth energy. So I'm good. I should have some really good luck coming through in May, and respond well to that, particularly in terms of prosperity. For you, it could be you could have as a metal person that fire energy could be to do with your authority. It can do with your relationships. It can be quite exciting. I mean, as I say, it's all about change. So for everyone, the snake represents change. But for a metal person, that change could be to do with the next step up, the elevating, being promoted. Sort of, it depends. I mean, obviously, it depends on your chart. So we have a look at what's going on in the year, the month, the day, the hour, and the external forces going on in your luck pillar. So
Mm.
that's on the Patreon as well.
Yeah, I
But
didn't even think about luck pillar. That's a good one.
yeah, yeah, because that's to do with external forces. So you've got the internal forces, the energies that you're born with, but you've got the external energies that are available in the luck pillar, which are 10-year blocks. And then you look at your annual stars and the monthly stars. You can look at the daily stars and hourly stars, but the energy becomes more subtle. So for the big stuff, I always look at the month and the year, compare it to my chart, compare it to the luck pillars, and compare it to the annual monthly stars to get a really good
Mm.
picture of what the energy is doing. How's it going to interact with me? Is it favourable? Is it going to be more challenging? How can I enhance the good stuff and
Right.
minimise the more difficult, challenging sides?
Yeah.
That's where your feng shui comes in. So
Oh,
so
right.
one of the things I want to talk about in today's episode is for lots of people to beef up their wealth and prosperity and to get things moving by looking at the flying stars that are available in May. So I'll go into greater detail on the Patreon page. I'll go into each sector, if you like, on the Patreon. So today I'll just talk about some of the good ones and what it means, because I don't want to run out of time. But on the
Mm.
Patreon, I can go into the each direction, because it's important to measure the direction your house is facing and the back of your house to see if the energy is going to be shored up, or whether it's going to escape, leak away, because you've got something called a tiger's mouth, which is where you've got a gap in the back of the building. So it could be if it's a valley. Oh, by the way, I wanted to clear up. Last podcast, I said about it's been worrying me
Oxford.
so much. Yeah, I know I told you.
I went to Oxford to pick up Robin, you know.
And it's not full of negative energy. It's full of wonderful energy. And it was just a slip of the tongue. It was talking about the valley, and valleys will store energy, but it's not bad. It won't just store bad energy; it store all the energy.
Mum,
And
you can have your own opinion. You can say if you hate Oxford, it's
I
okay.
don't. I love Oxford. I think Oxford's an
Yeah,
amazing
yeah,
place,
yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
it's so
There's a lot
when
of bikes around there, isn't it?
well, because it's full of students, because it's an academics. It's one of the best areas for academia,
Oh, that's right in the
and
UK.
yeah, and
And
for
Mum hates it.
history. No, I don't. I love it, and people. I love all the people who live in Oxford. I think
It's
you're
very
amazing,
beautiful.
and the bluebell forests are just adorable. But also the history. So anybody that has heard of Tolkien. There's honestly, it's definitely worth a visit.
Some would
It's
say you're quite biased about Oxford. What about everywhere else in the world?
yeah, but
Have
I
you
did,
thought about
but
everywhere
I
else?
but I wasn't talking about
Have
everywhere else.
you?
No,
Very biased
no,
towards
it's
Oxford.
just last time I mentioned Oxford and I said it accumulated the pollution and negative energy. It doesn't just it's much more than that, and it has big good energy. It's full of positivity. So
Well,
do go and let me know what you think.
personally, personally, I
I get
am
hay fever.
neutral. I'm neutral. And
You're
I'll move on.
Switzerland.
What's wrong with Switzerland, Mum?
I love Switzerland.
Oh,
Unless do you
that's
remember
convenient.
do you remember when we were
Mum
there?
went paragliding and she threw up in
Oh
Switzerland.
God.
It was really
Oh,
funny.
it was
Mum,
it
we went with like a group of people, and Mum was the first one to jump off the mountain, which was like a horrible, weird, crazy
that was
sensation.
fine, but I my
Yeah,
the
but Mum
person
was the last person to come down as well because the person was doing tricks with her.
I was
She
doing
came down and just threw
somersaults.
up.
I honestly, we were going over the village, and I literally had to hold the vomit in because I thought I was going to be sick on someone.
Well, it's
We
good that you
we
didn't.
were going over people's heads, and he was doing swirly things. He was getting these up drifts, so we were going back up to the clouds.
I
Honestly,
would
it
have
was
loved that.
I loved it, but I had literally just had a big breakfast and did not know that was going to happen. I thought we were just going to
Why did we
jump
go
off a cliff.
paragliding? Why did we do that? Was that your
Well,
idea?
yeah, of
I
course,
was 14.
and I was adventurous then. It was either paragliding or we were going to go in a glider and go across a glacier. I think it was,
Why
and I
didn't we
thought
do that?
I think
That's
because
so cool.
I think it was because we didn't have time because it was our last day. Because I remember after I was
Oh,
sick,
bummer.
I couldn't go back to. Oh no, we did go back to the hotel room, but we weren't
Yeah, you
meant
threw
to.
up there.
Yeah, but I was sick as soon as I got the harness off. I was,
Yeah.
I
Oh
was
my god, we could have gone.
green.
There's glaciers in Switzerland. I did not realise that.
I don't know if
That's.
there's any left now because that was a long time ago, and
I mean, it was like what,
global
like
warming.
15 years ago. There's glaciers in Switzerland. Is there? Are you sure?
It was a place called Interlaken, and do you know what? It was
What?
beautiful. It was
I'm sure it would have
lovely.
looked good on a bird's eye view, but whatever. Should we get back to the episode?
Yeah.
Great. So, May.
So
Tell us
May.
about May.
So I was so introducing the I Ching. So that will come up a bit later on. We haven't really spoken much about the I Ching, but it is a book of changes, and change is the only thing you can guarantee in life, in anything. Now,
I feel like I had a shroom trip, and at the end of it, those are my answers.
you did what?
Nothing, Mum.
Hope you're not doing Harry on me,
A
Prince Harry.
Harry, a Prince Harry.
Yeah.
Now, let's not get political.
Okay.
Let's not
I
get
don't.
political.
Okay. So the hexagram for May 2023 is hexagram number 9 for all those that are interested in the I Ching, and that's a hexagram for small livestock. Now, what does that mean to you, Schmo?
Chicken eggs.
Does it?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, but how does that relate to energy and luck and what to do?
Say it again. I was thinking about chicken eggs.
Small livestock.
Is that all I've got to run off? Small
Yeah,
livestock.
yeah.
Mice.
No. Okay, so the
Sheep.
no.
Smaller.
So
Bigger.
it means no.
Horse.
It means for success.
What? You're talking riddles now.
So when you see the hexagram number 9, which is
Yeah.
in the I Ching, it's called
Get an
small
omelette.
livestock. What it means, just as
Yeah.
a as a it means
Gobble,
take
gobble, gobble.
take small steps.
Take
So
small steps.
to reach
How
success,
small?
well,
Metaphorically.
baby steps, which is
Okay.
such as us. We take with our first newsletter.
I'm very
We
excited about the newsletter, guys.
Patreon. It's about not flooding everybody with loads of information all at once and then walking away.
They'd be overwhelmed because we're so awesome.
It's about small steps. Thank you. It's about taking small but regular steps. So remember the old Chinese proverb, um, a journey of 1,000 miles starts with a single step. So
Makes
it's
sense.
so it's taking
I didn't need
small
to be a
steps.
proverb to know that.
No, take small steps regularly to accumulate a big success. So that's for everybody for the whole of May. That's the I Ching's pearl of wisdom. It means it's a really good time for accumulating knowledge. It means also that you should pay attention to small details. It's really good for self-development. It's also a great time to be modest and humble. So Chloe needs to work on that. And
Rude. Rude. You think you're so funny. You and your ego think you're so funny.
I do. I do. So
Get
that's
off your high horse.
so that's what small livestock means. Take small, regular steps and accumulate knowledge
Bigger steps.
and to pay attention to the small details.
Cool. Okay.
Now,
Noted.
let's have a little look at the snake in a bit more detail. So I mentioned before, it's a yin fire snake. So what's the difference between yin fire and yang fire?
The degree of fire.
Yeah, but can explain that a bit more. Give me an example of yang fire.
No. Yin fire snake. Yin fire for me is romance.
Yes.
Yang fire, I don't know. More romance.
If you think
Sounds
of,
like someone's trying to break through your window there. Are you okay?
Really?
Is there anyone on the other end?
Of my window?
Yeah.
No.
All right, well, that's fine then, isn't it? Phew, so yang fire. Mum's looking around.
So
Suspiciously, said the snake. I know, I'm good, aren't I? Got a mind like that.
Oh, that reminded me of the Jungle Book then.
You and I are all over the place today. Have you noticed?
I need my hormone implant, so my mind
I started taking the pill yesterday. I'm going to blame it all on that, sure.
yeah, hormones. So an example of yang fire is the sun.
The sun.
Yeah, so a powerful.
I knew that.
Okay,
Yang
well,
fire
thanks.
is the sun. Yin fire is
Thanks
the
for
candle.
sharing. Yeah. Okay, good. So that's an example of the difference between yin yang.
Yeah.
But you can also argue that starlight is yin fire. So even though if you see it when it's dark and the light it gives off on planet Earth is small, it's actually when you go to the source of those stars
it will kill you.
Well, yeah, because
they're dying.
Well, they're suns, they're stars. They're huge, powerful. They're so powerful that despite the distance, the millions of light years away, we can still see them with the visible eye. So that's not to say yin fire is weaker than yang fire.
Looking into the past, Mum.
It's just different ways of looking at the energy. So yin fire can be very powerful and penetrating. So it can, even though, and just like the snake in nature, very often snakes, you can walk past a snake, you could be on a rambling or hiking, and you could go past a snake and not, particularly in the UK, we have.
If we saw a snake, we'd be like, no, thank you.
Don't think we've got any poisonous ones. But
was the Jungle Book snake called Khan?
Yeah, car, Ka.
Car.
Yeah,
it's ironic because it's not a car.
I had a car called Car.
Wow.
Anyway, so the power of the yin fire can be immense. So even though it doesn't on the surface, just like when you're taking a hike, you may walk past a snake and not see it. It may be invisible because it blends in with the background. May energy is going to be a little bit like that. So even though it may start off particularly as feeling not a great deal's changing, not a great deal's going on, actually it is powerful stuff
in the background.
Yeah. So the snakes are really good for shedding their skin. So they really good for renewal. So when I see a snake in someone's chart, I know that that person's going to be very good at beginnings and starting again. If something's not working, they can let it go. They can release it, just like shedding an old skin, and they can be reborn or rebirthed, or can start something from scratch again. So I'm not saying that everybody needs to do that, but if you do have something like a launch or something that you want to start afresh, or have a blank canvas and start again, May is really good for that. And it's all about alignment. So I've been doing some courses with some American teachers actually about removing energy blocks, because I'm interested from a feng shui perspective, because some of my clients have on the surface quite good flying stars, quite good charts, but they're still feeling a bit stuck. So I've been looking at, this is more to do with combining man luck and earth luck, but I've been looking at removing of energy blocks, and what's the best method, and how can people do that. So this is a really good time for doing that in May. So if you are stuck on something, if something's really bugging you or really getting in the way, obstructing, you feel you're not moving as forward as well as you would like, you feel that the flow of chi in your home is not as smooth as it could be, then May's a great time to to deal with it, to look at it, to work out what's going on, whether it's an emotional block, maybe you've been feeling resentful about something, and whenever you think about either that situation or that event or that person, it fills you up with negative energy that can block that anger, that disappointment, or those heavy energies can sort of get in the way, and they can sort of stop you from seeing the opportunities that are right behind it. So this is a great month for releasing things, letting go of things, and being open, because fire is an energy that expands outwards. It's to do with the heart. You mentioned romance earlier, so yes, romantic opportunities are available. If for those that wish to tap into that chi, it's super good. It's is heart and soul and mindful energy that's available right now, and will continue to develop and expand throughout the whole of the summer season. But it's really good right now during May to let go of energy blocks and to open your heart for new, beautiful energy to come through. Let's not also forget that this is year of the water rabbit. So the first couple of weeks of May are going to be a little bit more dynamic, which is why we waited that day, because during eclipse season, or days of eclipse, we have the potential for things not working out as we plan. So we don't want to
Also, we've
launch.
got Mercury retrograde happening right now.
Okay, when does that finish?
Not sure.
Okay, well, we've got 2 weeks. The first two, so from the 5th
I
of
think it
May.
finishes on like the 15th. I might be making
Yeah,
that up.
well, no, that works with the Chinese astrology as well, because the first 2 weeks of May, Yin Fire are going to have a bit of a bumpy ride with the energy of the annual star, Yin Water over the Rabbit. So fire and water, very dynamic, steam train energy, that sort of thing, which I like, because it can be difficult to harness, but because my water energy is so strong, I quite like it because it gets things moving. It gets like circulating. It's so it gets rid of stagnation. We don't like stagnation, so I don't mind the dynamic energy. Some people may not like it, particularly people that have Yin Fire as their self element. That's the heavenly stem of their day of birth. They might find it a little bit too bumpy, too dynamic, and people that have Yin Water as their self element, they may also have a stronger than usual reaction. But as the month unfolds and it gets going, once we get past, say, the 19th to 20th, 23rd, sort of that around that third week of May, magic starts to happen, because we've got the
Mm.
combination now of the rabbit energy, which is going to act as fuel. Now, I love rabbit energy because rabbit energy is very mystical, it's very flexible, it's very creative. When you add the fire, it means that your mind is really pumped up. It's you could be looking at something for the first time and you're going to absorb it, because you've got all that energies to do with It can be artistic and creative. It doesn't have to just be academic. But we've got all those little seeds in play. We've got the literary energy of the wood. We've got the intelligence and knowledge energy of the water. But we've also got the penetrating power of the mind. So have you things like mind over matter? Do you remember when I
The
told you?
Secret.
Well, I was going to say about the fire walking. Do you remember when I did the fire walking in Chiswick? Ooh, about more than 20 years ago, 25 years ago.
I wasn't conscious that you were doing it, but you told me about it.
Yeah, well, it was on the BBC. Somebody saw it on the TV once and asked me if it was
Ooh.
me, and I said it was, and they were like,
Yeah.
"What?"
Wow, that's
But
cool.
yeah, well, it was amazing because it was all about the power of the mind, and through the power of the mind, not only did all of us, the people on that workshop, and we only learnt it that evening. It wasn't like a months and months of training. It was literally a couple of hours, and then it was like, "Come on, off you go."
You're gonna be shown on live television in front
Yeah,
of millions of people walking a fire. Don't mess this up.
yeah. Well, funnily enough, I did. Okay, all right. So not only did we have to walk through the fire, but in order to train our mind to do it without burning, she made us do some other exercises. One of which was going up a 7 foot ladder and falling backwards and
Oh,
letting people catch you, people you'd only just met. You didn't even know their names. So
oh,
that was an exercise in trust. So, I mean, that we had so many people that couldn't do it. They'd go up there and then they would break down. They were crying, they were hysterical. Some people just couldn't do it.
reasonable.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So I did it twice because she said you can either fall backwards or you can fall forward. So I wanted to see which one, but and people obviously caught you. So that was quite hard. The second one we had to team up with somebody. So there was me and this other young girl, because I was a little spring chicken then. It was a long time ago, but me and this other girl, yeah, that's your small livestock coming through. Um, we had to put a solid steel bar. So it was quite long. It was probably about 5 foot, maybe 5 foot long. It wasn't as high as me, but it was solid. It wasn't hollow. It was solid metal, and they use it in building construction. They put them through the concrete to reinforce the concrete. So it wasn't anything specially made. It was literally something from building supplies, and we would have the end put in the soft bit of your neck, just as your neck reaches, kind
Oh,
of.
where your collarbones meet.
Yeah, yeah. So
What?
yeah, I would put one end on my neck, and then the girl opposite would put the other end on her neck. So we
Why?
were, because you had to bend it.
What?
Yeah. So we were suspending this metal rod just by our necks, not using our hands, so that we were holding one end each, balancing it on that soft bit of your neck. And the teacher told us we had to step towards one another in which to bend it. So
What?
your mind is saying it's impossible. You can't
Are
do
you
it.
kidding me?
Yeah, yeah.
Did
Truthfully,
it bend?
yeah. I had it for years. I don't know where it is now, but I honestly. I mean, I'm not joking. It was hard because your mind is saying it's impossible. You can't do it. And the teacher, she was from America. I can't remember her name, but I can still see her face now. She was like an angel. So she said, don't focus. This was an example on focus. She said, don't focus on the rod. Just look at the middle of this rod, both of you, and just imagine it bending. So I think I even cried during this one because I really wanted to do it, but
Painful.
it was a little bit painful, but not as much as you'd imagine. But it was getting your mind over something that you think is impossible. So I think my partner, somebody I only met that evening. She was more cool and calm and collected than I was. I was a bit more emotional, but both of us sort of were wide-eyed, thinking this is crazy, and the other people in the group were also struggling. But I just remember looking at the center of this bar, and as we're trying to take steps towards one another, all of a sudden the middle of the bar started vibrating, started going up and down on its own, and just from the tension. And then as we're sort of we're pushing our necks heads forward, we're trying to move forward to one another. All of a sudden, it bent by about 45 to 60 degrees. It wasn't a perfect right angle, but near enough. And I was so blown away by that, because it was just like, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I kept the rod for years because it was just such a powerful moment of the power of intention and focus. So it was our intention to bend this bar,
Did
and
you try bending it before? Was there
you
like
couldn't. It was solid. It was about an inch diameter, and it was solid metal, steel. I think solid steel. It wasn't pliable. It wasn't like aluminium. It was stuff they use in building construction to reinforce buildings.
how is that possible?
Honest to God, Chloe, I promise you, it was just extraordinary. So that was a lesson in trust and a lesson in intention. And then came the firewalk. Now, while we were doing all of this, the lady who was taking us through it, she at the beginning she made us, or didn't make us, but she suggested we all build the fire together. So we all put the wood down, then the coal went down, and it was probably about 8 foot long and maybe about 6 foot wide. It was, and funny, it was in Chiswick, in the sports field.
Mm.
So it was quite a big trench. And while we were doing all of these exercises, which went on for a few hours, the fire was lit, and by the time we were ready to do it, it was all glowing embers. So there wasn't so much like high flames. But you could still see small flames, but the coal and
Yeah,
the
coal gets really hot.
well, all of
That's
that
like
gone.
really hot.
That had gone to reds and oranges, so it hadn't burnt down. It hadn't gone white. It was still fresh. It was still crunchy, and like it was, to be honest, even remembering it now, it's so amazing. So she said, I don't want you to talk, but I want you to not focus on the fire. I want you to focus on a point beyond the fire. And she stood there. So for me, she was my, and I think of her as an angel. I really do. She was the person I was walking towards. And she said, if you want to think about the fire, don't think about it as burning hot, but think about it as more about a texture. So you could think it's like gravel, or the sand, just as the waves are coming in. So I think that's what I use, actually. But she said the purpose is not to focus on the fire, but focus on the point beyond the fire. And so I think I went first, and I started doing it. And obviously you're nervous, and you roll your trousers up, you take your shoes and socks off, so you've got bare feet. And it's true, you walk through it, and you can feel the texture, you can feel the crunchiness as you're walking. And she said you can walk, don't rush it, take as long as you like. You can even stand still in the middle if you want. Obviously people were a bit like, what? But I walked through it, and I didn't feel any heat until I got to the one step towards the end, and then my ego kicked in, and I still had one foot in the fire, the other foot had gone onto the grass. And as I've taken a step onto the grass, I thought, oh my God, I've just walked through fire. The moment I thought that thought, a tiny piece of
Mm.
coal stuck to the sole of my foot and gave me a blister. And I was
Mm.
really upset. I was so upset because I thought, oh my God, I didn't do it properly. Even though I just walked about 8 foot along this fire, I felt I'd failed, because I, I felt the heat right at the end, and I had this little blister.
It gave you the
So,
opportunity to compare that feeling though. Like
well, it just
you
shows
can't.
you how the ego can kick in.
Yeah, but there's that saying like you can't appreciate light without darkness.
True, very, very good. So then, so I wanted to do it again. So everybody else did their turn, and then I thought, no, I'm going to do it again. And this time I did it really slowly. And when I got to the middle, I stopped, not for long, I'll be honest, because I didn't want to burn, but I knew I wasn't burning. And got to the center, and I stopped for 5 seconds, maybe, not long, just to prove that I could do it. And I just kept thinking, cool. I think I was saying to myself, cool wet sand or something like that. But I kept my eyes on her. She was standing at the receiving end of at the end of the firewalk, and when I got to her, she just gave me this huge hug and just said, "You can do anything now," and it's true. Since that moment, I feel that everything's shifted, everything changed, everything pivoted. That's the energy we've got this month. You can do big
Mm.
stuff just through little exercises, including trust, intention, focus. Just having those tools, you don't failure is not an option. And even if you do make a little slip up, like I made that mistake and got a blister, and I was like devastated. That's you don't. It's like you say. It's light and dark. It gives you comparison. You just start again, and that's what the snake's really good for. The snake's all about endings and beginnings. Get rid of stuff that no longer serves you. Don't have it around. Don't clutter your life like my house. Although, to be
Words
honest,
of
Chloe,
wisdom.
I wanted to. The next time you, that's why I wanted you to come around on Saturday, because since I've been doing those releasing of energy blocks, you know, the corner where I was keeping all the stuff that I was going to use for selling,
Yeah.
you can't see now. It's all gone.
Where's it gone?
It's gone. I got
Where?
rid of it.
What, you just threw it away?
No, I put it in your bedroom. No, but it's gone
Oh,
from
the
the lounge.
dumping site. Wow.
No,
Congratulations.
I got rid of a lot of it, and the stuff I'm going to keep and sell is in your bedroom. But that corner had been accumulating crap for a long time. But by doing the releasing thing, releasing energy, I've finally got motivated enough to get rid of stuff that had really been sort of clogging up my northwest corner, and I didn't want it to
Mm.
be clogged up any further.
Cool. Well done.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
I liked your story.
Okay, well, have I got time to run through some flying stars, because that's what my intention was today? I won't go
You've
through
got a
5 minutes.
very small amount of time.
Okay, so more detail on all of the directions on the Patreon, but for this purpose, for this podcast, for nearly everybody, we've got super duper really good energy for wealth and prosperity, for change, for happiness, for good fortune generally in the south. Really lucky, really good for celebrations, for promotions, happy events. So you can activate that with the water method or the fire method, or you can do some space clearing, so moving heavy furniture, clean. Say if you've got a wardrobe or a bed or a settee, it's it takes a bit of effort. You've got to move it out the way, give it a good old clean, put it back. That's a little bit like acupuncture for your home. It's going to shift some energy. It's going to move the energy. You can also use the water method. You can also use the fire method. Now, the fire method has a quicker effect for change, but not as long lasting or as deep as the water method. Water method is yang, so big changes, but also tong shu, groundbreaking and moving the furniture. That's in the south. Another one I really like the look of is in the north. In the north, we have something known as the combo of 10, which when we get talking about flying stars, or in the Patreon when I start going deeper to do with flying stars and purple star, then combos of 10 will make a lot more sense. But for now, just trust in the North Energy. We've got really good chi for um, collaborations, so business success. So, and I'm doing a collaboration with somebody on,
Oh yeah, that's
yeah.
right. Mum's going to be featured on another podcast.
I
Can you believe it?
know, it's
Traitor.
so exciting. I'm so
It's very
excited.
exciting. Yeah,
Yeah.
she's talking about the Trinity of Luck. Is that right?
Yep. So we're going to talk
Yeah.
about that in detail. So
When
I
is
was
that?
we're going to record tomorrow, but I'm not sure when it's been released. I'll ask Laura, and then perhaps if Laura's happy, we can put a link on our website or on
Hell
Instagram.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's so
So
cool.
also for the north, if you're looking to attract investments, really good. Activate the north. If you're looking for partnerships, really good. Spend time in that sector, activate that sector, put important documents and papers, intentions again in that sector. Really good for networking, really good for awards. So do good for communication. So have your telephone, computer, fax machine.
Ha!
Phone.
Ancient people only that listen to podcasts. Get your fax machines out. It's time.
Your chargers, put your chargers all in laptops, all in the North sector, because you'll get good news.
Charge them in the North
Yeah, so
sector.
they're my two faves. There is another one that we can, in fact, on the newsletter I think I talk about another one, which was the Northeast. That's for your love, really good for love. And on the Patreon I'll talk about how to diffuse some of the more difficult ones. We've got difficult one in the Southwest for jealousy and conflict, so don't activate that, but I will tell you how to calm things down. Also, no renovation in the Northwest, but you can spend time in the Northwest. There is a bit of conflict in the Southwest. If you're facing Southwest, pay attention to what's going on. Don't aggravate things by listening or not practicing forgiveness, because misunderstandings, particularly between husband and wife, will be rife this month.
Ooh.
Yeah, so I'll go into more detail on the Patreon page, because that's what it's for. And I think in the newsletter, I've also, which is free, I've also bring attention to the things I've just said. But yeah, that's it. Job done.
That was a very, very quick forecast. I appreciate
Well,
that.
I waffled on about the firewalk for such a long time.
Yeah, that's all right, isn't it?
Oh, oh,
Oh,
oh! I've got
okay.
some dates.
Great.
Now, for those that really want to do this and do it well, there's so Tong Shu. We haven't really spoken about Tong Shu, but it's looking at the stems and branches, so timing, so space and time. So when I say activate the north and south, if you have a compass and if you are aware of the 24 mountains, which will be on the Patreon page as a free resource, you've got the north 2, the direction of the rat, south 2, the direction of the horse. These are the ones where you want to put your water feature in. These are the place that the exact place you want to activate. Now, the dates that I recommend are on the 7th of May between 5 p.m. and 7 p.m., unless you've got the goat in your chart. That's really good for success. On the 16th of May between 7 p.m. and 9 p.m., unless you're a dragon. That's really good for initiating things. On the 24th of May between 7 a.m. and 9 a.m., unless you're a rat, so I can't do this. This is good for releasing and letting go. It's a remove day. And then on the 2nd of June, which is still within our May snake energy, between 5 p.m. and 7 p.m., unless you're a rooster, so I can't do it. This is really good for new opportunities. Now, if you do have, I mean, I can do it, but I won't get the same level of success as somebody such as you who don't have the rat in your chart. You've got the goat, so you can still activate it on the 7th of May between 5 p.m. and 7 p.m. You just won't have the same level of success as somebody that hasn't got the goat, but you still have something. So
Makes
there are
sense.
degrees of it. And that's it. I finished.
Woohoo! Well, great. Thank you
Oh,
very
I
much.
thought of one more thing.
Oh God, yeah. What? What is it?
You can also activate with meditation, mantra, and intention. So if you're soft and gentle and you prefer to journal, still effective for these manifestation techniques. So you don't have to move a wardrobe. You don't have to have a water feature. You don't have to set fire to candles. You can
Set
just
fire to candles.
you can
I wouldn't
sit
set
there.
fire. Yeah, sorry.
You can
Sounds yeah.
you can sit there and have a very chilled meditation, or you can be mindful and you can journal. These will also be effective techniques, and I really am done now.
Great. Um, Thank you for that extra content. Uh, Robert here. I don't know how Chloe usually does her
No, no,
outro.
no,
Have you got
no,
any
no,
idea?
no, Chloe, bring back Chloe, bring back Chloe,
I'm Robert.
Chloe, come
Hello, this
back.
is Leslie. I can hear
No,
there's
no, no,
conflict.
no.
Okay, fine. Okay.
I'll
Thank
start
you very
coughing.
much. Thank you very much, everyone, ladies and gentlemen, everybody in between. It's been a pleasure to have you here. I hope you've enjoyed the stories. I hope you've enjoyed the tips. I hope you've enjoyed the tricks. I hope you enjoyed, most importantly, Sure. The announcements that we've had. So just to recap, tomorrow newsletter comes out. It's totally free. Sign up on our website today to get the first one. Otherwise, it's monthly, so you'll just be rolled on to the next one. No problemo. And the Patreon information will be on the website, and otherwise you can also get a direct link through the newsletter, so it's easy
And
peasy.
you'll put a link up for the Barsi calculator so people can look up the heavenly stems and earthly branches for their year, month, day, hour, as well as the luck pillar.
If you give me a link to it, sure.
I've got the link right here. It's called Barsi
Okay,
calculator.
great. Wow. All right, brilliant. That's our toolbox in the public eye. Whatever. That's a good point, actually. Anyway, thank you very much, everyone. I hope you've enjoyed your episode today. Have a lovely weekend. Hope it's sunny wherever you are. Hope you can enjoy the sun. If not, it's Taurus season. Chill out. Stay at home. Eat that cake. I condone it. I've been eating a lot of cake. It's been very nice. And we'll catch you in 2 weeks' time. Have a lovely May start. And it sounds like the second week of May the second part of May is even going to be better.
Mm-hmm.
And that's because our next episode is going to be out then. All right, Mum, you want to say anything?
I love you. Thank you for listening, and catch you next time.
Cool. Bye, everyone.
Bye.